Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Annalisa Itkor.
And I'm Lisa Richardson. And as you can see, we're at this spectacular spot at the Oldfield Club at the Outfitter Center.
And we've got some very unique guests today. Today we have Jill Combrick. She is the Oldfield naturalist.
Also joining us is Jason Dubose. He's the Oldfield River Pro and Outfitter Center Director.
And we'll also be talking to Sarah Molsky. She is the Oldfield Equestrian Director.
So stick around for this very educational episode of 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Low Country comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We are here today at the Oldfield Club here at the Outfitters Center. As you can see, incredibly beautiful backdrop. We have some human guests as well as some special critter guests today. This is Cornelia, and also joining us is Jason Dubose and Jill Combrick. Welcome.
Thank you.
So first and foremost, guys, for those of you who may not be familiar with the Outfitters Center, tell us a little bit about the staff you have on board here.
We have a pretty diverse and experienced staff, 2 full-time Coast Guard licensed charter captains, full-time naturalist, Jill, and we have a boat program coordinator who handles the boat launches and retrieves for our members.
That's pretty spectacular, actually, to have that many on staff to share all of the things you have going on. You've got some fantastic programs available to members. Let's talk about some of those. How about the boat program?
We have a full service boat program for our members. It makes it extremely hassle-free to get out and enjoy boating on the river here. The boats are kept on their trailer in a secure storage yard. Members simply just call down, make a reservation for their launch time. We trailer the boat down, put it in the water here at our boat ramp. It can stay in the water for 3 or 4 days while the members use it. And when we're done, put it back on the trailer, rinse the hull, rinse the motor, rinse the trailer, put it back in the yard. It's extremely hassle-free.
We boat and we do all of that ourselves, so I know exactly how incredible benefit that is for sure.
No kidding.
It's a very, very popular program.
You just listed all the reasons why I don't own a boat, because you have to do all that yourself. That's
yes,
pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And we see it's low tide right now, so it's a spectacular view, and it's just such an amazing background here. You could just sit here and not do anything else, but in fact, there's other water programs.
Absolutely. So I understand, and I've heard great tales about your fishing adventures here. Tell us a little bit about that, Jason.
Yeah, we do all types of saltwater fishing here. We've got a 26-foot bay boat that we do inshore fishing for redfish, trout, flounder, cobia, tarpon. We've also got a 27-foot twin-engine center console that we can take up to about 50 miles offshore for king mackerel, grouper, snapper. So we cover all aspects of saltwater fishing here in the Low Country. And we also do sightseeing cruises for folks who want to get out on the river and maybe aren't interested in fishing while we're out there. Dolphin cruises, we do destination trips to downtown Beaufort, Defusky, various ports on Hilton Head. So lots of on-the-water boating activities.
Well, and when you live in a community like this, the first impact you have is you drive through the property. You just want to get outside. And sometimes I think when you're new to an area and you don't understand the area, we were having a funny conversation about Cornelia, you know, and understanding the different snakes here and the different wildlife here. Having someone like you on staff, Jill, really helps them connect, not just knowledgeably, but safely. Talk a little bit about that.
Right, yeah, I think having a naturalist on staff really does make us unique, not only in the programs and things that we can offer, but also in the education. So Oldfield was developed around the nature, and we're very eco-friendly and based on that. So at the same time, we do a lot of education for the members, whether it's a program or just for them to call up and say, I have a snake in my yard, or, you know, we're worried about the alligators, what can you tell us? So it's a great resource. All of the staff at the Outfitter Center can do that, but it is one of my primary roles to educate them on that.
You use the word education, and that's so true. This area of the Low Country, so much to learn, to all the beauty. And we were talking a little bit before about the snake. Sometimes people mistake this particular snake with a copperhead. So you could tell them,
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of times fear just comes from not knowing. And
Right.
so being able to educate them is half the battle. And so we talk to them about that. We live with nature. We try to explain to them that alligators were here first. We live in harmony with them. Obviously, if there's an issue, we look into it. But again, it's nice to have the staff here that they know they can rely on for that.
Absolutely.
Now talk a little bit about the Outfitter Center itself. It's pretty awesome. I walked in and was really quite blown away by it. You know, how do you utilize this facility, Jason?
It's utilized in a lot of different ways. One, it's their booking center for all the different activities that we offer here. If someone wants to book a fishing charter, if someone wants to just stop in and bring the grandkids or the kids to come check out the nature center that Jill has put together to see the snakes and the turtles and the fish. It's also just a meeting place for members. We have a group of guys that come down and smoke cigars down here on the porch every Sunday afternoon. So it gets utilized in a lot of ways. We have 10 complimentary kayaks for members to use, 6
nice.
paddle boards so folks can come down and make a reservation to check those out. So it's really, the Outfitter Center is what gives our membership access to the river, whether it's on a boat, paddleboard, kayak. It's kind of their doorway to getting out on the Okeechobee River.
Absolutely. Now the members, obviously the homeowners, is that the membership to that come with all these amenities? Is that an extra, or is that just kind of comes along with living here?
That the access to everything that we offer here at the Outfitter Center is available to all of our property owners, and then certain membership levels. The country club membership levels also have access to the Outfitter Center amenities and everything that comes along with it.
So folks can just come down anytime and chat with you all, catch you all, find out what's going on at any particular time. Talk about the personal touches that you offer the members.
Yeah, so members will come down and just want to know what's biting in the river, what we've been catching. They know what time we're getting back from the fishing charters, so they'll come down and a lot of times they're waiting at the dock to watch us clean fish and ask what we were catching them on and where we were catching them. So it's really a lot of close personal interaction with the membership. They can pop in their sitting room and watch a college football game on a Saturday afternoon, and so it's a very homey kind of atmosphere down here.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think both of us get a lot of texts and pictures sent on our phones as well, like, what's this bird? Look at this fish. So
That's
we're
great.
used to all of that too. Or they'll be walking and be like, I saw this bird, or this is what I caught in the pond today. So yeah, it's a very informal atmosphere, I think, with the membership and with staff, which is a really nice feeling too.
So it's a big highlight for visiting family members. We have members here who have grandkids that come and visit every year, and a trip to Jill's Nature Center or a fishing trip out on the water is like the must thing to do.
Tradition.
Yeah.
They do it every year, so it is a tradition.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, so you all stay right here. We're going to be back with more 843 TV from Oldfield. Welcome back to 843 TV, where we are sitting at this beautiful spot here at Oldfield, and you can see the scenery, and the marsh is low tide and it's spectacular. We're learning all about the different programs that they've got for members, and Jill and Jason, thank you for telling us so much. Now, there is a particular special designation you have. It's the Audubon Sustainable Community. First of all, tell us what that is and how you got that designation.
I'd be happy to. So a lot of times when people hear Audubon, they think the birds, which is great because that's an amazing program. But Audubon International is a nonprofit organization that works with communities, small towns, resorts to help them become more sustainable. So it was a perfect fit for Oldfield. We started out as a golf course sanctuary over 12 years ago, and a lot of communities start out that way. So they help golf courses, where a lot of nature is, be eco-friendly. And then a natural progression was for us to be a part of their Neighborhood for Nature program. And way back over 10 years ago, we were one of their first green neighborhoods. And since then, they've evolved their programs, and the grandiose, of all awards is to be a sustainable community. So we had already become a green neighborhood and wanted to do something more and embrace the way that Oldfield feels about the environment and how important it is to us. So the community came together, and in about a 1.5 year time, which usually takes communities more like 3 to 8 years, we became the 8th community in the country to be a sustainable community. And what it means is we've just embraced the lifestyle of recycling and energy efficient appliances and just the choices that we make not only as staff but also the residents. So it's a way of life, and we're really proud of the designation. So yeah, we were, that's been exactly a year actually, so we're a sustainable community now.
I can only imagine it was quite a process. I'm sure you had to jump through an enormous amount of hoops to achieve this designation.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that journey?
Definitely. I think because the community is so involved, it helps to have a naturalist for sure, because I designated a lot of my time to getting that certification, but it takes community support. You have to survey the community and find out what their interests are and what our needs were. And so we discovered, you know, there are areas that we could do better in, and the Audubon is there to support you in that. So a lot of paperwork, a lot of community involvement, but the amazing thing that came out of it was to have this living document where we have goals for this year going into 10 years from now of what we're going to do, just with all the things in mind that have to do with being an environmentally friendly community.
Did you want to add something to that, Jason?
No, it really is a feather in Oldfield's cap. We're, like Jill said, the 8th in the country to get that designation. So it's really something special.
You could just listening to you all sharing about everything you consider truly a passion of yours.
Yes.
To be part of this community and to protect our nature and so forth. And how could you not, just looking around in here? But it's spring now, it's March, just about March, and you've got some unique, we're probably gearing up for some busy season.
Yeah, it's real. We stay pretty busy year round, but really, it right now things are really gearing up. Fishing charters, sightseeing trips. Jill and I do a monthly eco river cruise together, where we go out on the Okeechobee River, and we focus on different unique aspects to the Okeechobee and to the Port Royal Sound system in general. The fact that we have the second highest tide swing on the east coast, south of Maine, and why that is. You know, what geographic features here cause that to be, the salt marsh and how it changes throughout the year. And then we see something different every time we go out there, and it's really a unique experience.
I'm sure so.
Very cool. Now, so Jill and I, we have a history. We know each other. We both work with the Master Naturalist program. That's why Lisa's kind of going, snake, and I'm going, snake. So tell us a little bit about how you apply that sort of Master Naturalist approach. I mean, I know you must do nature walks and all kinds of ways to share this passion.
Yeah, it's great to just come up with new ideas. And being a former teacher, I like to name things that help people remember. So we do second Saturday nature walks and fourth Friday field trips.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that way people can just remember. They don't have to RSVP for second Saturday. They just show up. They know we're doing a nature walk. We go different directions. We see different things depending on the time of year. And then field trips, I mean, we've got such an amazing place all over the Low Country. So we go to Bear Island and Pinckney and all the locations. So we don't just stay around here.
And you bring in some exciting guests as
we
well.
Do. We bring in speakers. They don't want to always just hear from us. It's nice to hear from different people. We have a really active fishing and outdoor club, which is a member-run program or club, and so we support them with that. We'll speak at it or help them get speakers for that as well. So,
as we close out your segment, Jason, share with us anything else that's on your heart that you'd like everyone to know.
Yeah, I think we covered quite a bit, but we also do some destination trips.
I was just about to say, let's talk a little bit about Belize and Costa Rica.
Yeah, it's just a part of the job.
Yeah, this will be our 5th annual trip to Belize. I organize a member fishing trip to El Pescador Lodge on Ambergris Key in Belize, and it has become quite popular. In fact, we've got 24 Oldfield members and guests going this year. It's a lot of fun, 5-night trip, and because we're coming as a a big group, we get a spectacular deal. And then Jill does a trip to Costa Rica, which she can tell you about.
Sure. Yeah, this will be our third one, January 2020. So we just have done a different segment, a different focus of Costa Rica about every year and a half, and that's something that new members and past residents all look forward to as well. So lots of options.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
Yep. Yeah, well, we have, believe it or not, still more to talk about out in this amazing Oldfield community. So we will be right back with more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV. Now, behind us, we have the beautiful marsh environment that is located here at the Oldfield Club. But anybody knows when you drive up to Oldfield off of 170, what you immediately think is horses, because those fences and that pasture, and of course the horses themselves, that's all you can think about when you turn in here. And we have joining us Sarah Molsky. She's in charge of the equestrian program here. So first and foremost, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved here at Oldfield?
So I actually moved here from northern Colorado. I was on a bison ranch where we worked with breeding horses with Frisian Andalusian stallions.
Wow.
And when my dad retired, I moved here to Charleston and ended up getting a job at an equestrian center a little bit down the road, and kind of worked my way up to where I eventually outgrew the facility that I was at and came to Oldfield. Came over with a couple clients and had a nice lesson program, and have slowly built up the lesson program off of that, where we have the girls actually this year competed in the hunter jumper equitation program, which is judged off of how the girls ride, how well their horsemanship is, how functional they are in the show ring and over jumps at fences. So they actually won year-end awards this year. I had 4 that qualified and 2 that won year-end awards, which is a huge deal for Oldfield. It's the first time that they've ever been recognized in a series for that up in Charleston.
That's great.
Yep.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, those fences are just amazing. So tell us about more about the facilities that you offer to the members with the equestrians. And
So I do offer balance seat lessons, and I offer them. I start my lessons at 6, and the oldest person that I had actually was a 65-year-old woman who did great. So we offer English style lessons, and then we also do trail rides, pony rides. We do off-site retreats. We do, which these have gotten really big, we've done sangria rides, where we take you out on the trails and kind of teach you a little bit about the history of the low country, the history of the plantation. And when you come back, we've got homemade sangria and a fruit cheese. Yeah, and those actually turn into adult birthday parties. And then we also do, we do kids' birthday parties as well. So we started unicorn and cowboy and Indian birthday parties. And then we've done a couple, we're starting to do Tuesday women ride nights. So where ladies can come out and we go on a trail ride, or we do like a wine tasting and painting, because you get the most amazing sunsets off of the equestrian center.
So you do have barn horses as well as stabled horses?
Yes, so we have private horses and non-private horses, and then Oldfield itself owns a couple that we use specifically for lessons and shows and training and that kind of stuff.
Fantastic.
are lessons strictly for members, or can they be members, guests? Or?
It's mainly member based, but we do have member guests as well, and it works really well in both, because some of my non-members that board there, I'm able to use these horses that are beautifully trained and high quality, wonderful. Some of them are semi-retired high-end show horses that I have access to for the community and for the members. So yeah, it
really
works out both ways.
I love that semi-retired show.
Yeah, I like it. Just like the people. So I understand that you aren't just in charge of horses, my friend, but that you're actually putting together a whole barnyard.
Yeah.
Let's hear more about that.
So I started growing up on a farm. We've always had, and there's different aspects, just like how the Nature Center and the Outfitter Center, everything is kind of wheels that are connected. So we had a pig named Phoebe that used to live at the barn, and Phoebe was a very big hit. Phoebe kind of got to the point where her arthritis was so bad that she went back to her old owner. So it kind of spurred an interest into the people that maybe wanted to come down, the grandkids that wanted to come down. I mean, I had people come down and FaceTime over Phoebe the pig. So it spurred this idea into creating a farmyard, because yes, we are an equestrian center. but there's whole other aspects of it. So we brought in chickens, and the chickens have been awesome. So we have a couple different species of chickens. The ones we currently have are called Easter eggers, and they lay blue-green eggs, but they're the lowest in cholesterol. So we obviously getting everything community funded. We have a sponsor of the barnyard program where you get a dozen free-range eggs a month as long as they're laying. They do stop laying in the wintertime, and then you can come down and have access to the animals and a lot of the chickens like to be held, and we're getting babies this year.
Oh,
so,
that's cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's very fun.
Yes.
Very fun. I can see the entry with the adults and with their grandchildren and children.
They love
Very
the
exciting.
chickens. Yes, the first thing they do is they come down because we have the barn cats, and
nice.
we've got my dog that's down at the barn, and she will play with everybody and the chickens and plays tags with the cats.
Cool.
And yeah, it's a
I
neat
think
dynamic.
that when you drive through this community, you see some unique signs. Back to the horses, they're horse crossing. You don't see that every day.
No.
Tell us about that.
So that's part of our trails, and we have those signs up to make awareness because we are out on the trails a lot. We do have to cross the roads. Being in a community, it's not your normal go in the woods trail ride. So those signs are kind of an awareness, as there are horses and riders out all the time, and we do walk on the green belts. You will. In the mornings and the afternoons, you will often see us go walking down because we'll take the horses and hack them out, just ride them out to get them exercise out of the arena as well. So yeah, those signs are there, and that's usually the points that we're actually crossing the roads. But,
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, maybe next time we can ride some horses,
Ooh,
get on a
that'd
boat
be
here
great.
at
I like
Oldfield. There's
that.
so much to do.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited to hear all the great things you've got for your members from all of you on the staff. And we're glad you all tuned in for this episode of 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.